Today on Singles Court, Victor took Zara on a romantic cruise, but love wasn't in the cards.
I wake up 5 a.m. in the morning. I am like, where is he? Where could Victor be?
He wants to win her back, but she says, you better forget it.
I wanted this woman in my life. I do not have a problem.
It was anonymous. Zara.
And since Zach proposed to Deidre, things have been rocky.
He spent about $10,000 on the spring, and neither of us can afford it.
He says, accept it. My love is like a rock.
She's saying, where'd you get the money? Like you robbed a bank or held up the store. Now I don't even know who she is.
Are coming from. I know.
Hi there, and welcome to Singles Court. On today's show, we have singles who have tried to work out their relationship problems but have had no success. So they've come here for the woman with the final word. She's been an author, she's a lecturer, she has done it all and seen it all, so believe me, she knows what she's talking about. She is relationship expert Angela Siegel.
David, is that a nice way of saying I've been around?
What was that?
Is that a nice way of saying that I've been around?
I wouldn't say you've been around.
I was going to say.
Angela, I'd like you to meet Zara and Victor. Victor invited Zara on a romantic cruise vacation that ended up being anything but. The first night, he went out alone and never came home, and then things got worse. He blames it all on bad luck. She blames him. I call it the case of cruise but no control, or I don't like these odds.
Zara, most people would be happy to go on a cruise.
Oh, I was.
Well, tell me what happened.
Well, I hadn't been on vacation for a while, so we went out to this cruise ship. It was beautiful. The stars were out, the fresh air, the beautiful sea. We went to a restaurant that night and on the cruise ship.
Let's back up. This is a cruise that Victor had said, I'm going to take you on a cruise, and right? So this is like a present.
And I kept my promise.
Yes, it was a present. He said that he was going to. You kept part of your promise.
That was,
don't even think that's going to slip in for a second.
A present, right? It was like a present, okay.
And the thing was that he was spending time with me. He was spending his money on me. But that did not happen.
Okay, so
well, anyhow, so after the dinner, we went back to our room, and we hadn't seen each other in a while, you know, and
it was a good time.
It was a very good time.
We had a wonderful night, right? But she always goes to sleep early, right?
And what's wrong with that? I have a job.
There's nothing wrong with that. You went to sleep early, and that was that. So, I mean, I didn't want to get stuck in the cabin, so I went out for a walk, right? Check out the rest of the ship by myself, sort of thing, you know? The disco, the music, the whole bit, right?
Yeah, the whole bit. The whole bit also included a 24-hour casino. Here I am. I wake up 5 o'clock in the morning. I wake up 5 o'clock in the morning.
Doesn't have a casino.
You're making too
I
much
did not
of an
know that.
issue
The thing was that you were supposed to spend time with me. I wake up 5 a.m. in the morning. And I am like, where is he? Where could Victor be? I thought maybe he went overboard. I don't know what's going on. And I'm frantic.
And where was he?
So I'm searching all over the ship, and then I find him in this 24-hour casino.
Doing?
Gambling. After he had promised that he would not gamble.
We're on vacation, right?
In fact, he said he had stopped gambling when we broke up.
I did stop gambling.
Why did he have to make that promise?
Oh, because the gambling was getting out of hand. It was absolutely ridiculous.
He was out of control, basically.
Oh, yeah.
No, I was not out of control.
You were out of control.
Is this an addiction? Is this a gambling
No, it's not an addiction. It's a part of our society. It's my fun. It's how I release my tension.
Yeah, well, you release it way too much.
Why would you make a promise to Zara?
I'm in love with this woman, you know?
No, that's
the thing.
You know what?
How about let me ask the question? Why would you make a promise to her that you wouldn't gamble anymore if it's not a problem or it's not affecting the relationship?
We're on vacation, right?
Well, that's like an answer. Why would you make that promise?
Because I wanted this woman in my life.
I
do not have a problem.
It was anonymous.
Zara. They also have one for people that are with people that are gamblers, that are addicted.
Yes,
that would be for you. People that get on your nerves.
That he had stopped
Why would you make the promise if it wasn't a problem? Do you at least admit that
see it as a problem?
It was a problem to the relationship. Do you at least admit that?
At times.
Okay. So now you're in the casino. till 5 o'clock.
I was on a roll. Things were going great. I mean, when you're on a roll, you just sort of walk away from the table, right?
Sometimes you do. Some people do.
You were supposed to be
not if
spending
you
time
wouldn't.
with me.
Others,
I was on my own.
Can't.
I went on a day trip on my own. I was by myself.
So you saw
that
him
my
there,
fault?
and
I saw.
Well,
Yes, it is. You're there.
Zara,
You
Zara,
rather spend
Zara,
time with
Zara.
the cards.
He has a point, though. You saw him in the casino. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, or whatever time you saw him. Did you go up to him and say, "Come on, baby"?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Hello.
I was too furious at that point, so I thought,
So
I'm
you-
going to cool myself
You
off.
chose not to. You chose to go on a day trip by yourself.
You know what she did? She left me alone. She would not talk to me for 2 days. 2 days.
Well, wait a minute. Where were you when she was on the day trip?
In the cabin with a sunburn. I had no money.
I had to pay
Wait a
for
minute.
everything.
Wait.
I had to pay for everything.
Back up on the story, because you went from having so much money in the casino to now you're in the cabin
Man,
with a sunburn.
yeah,
which, I know you're
He didn't
you're
have
like
money.
me. You must have
Start-
been out in the sun for a
I-
long time. So what
He
happened to
didn't
the
have
money?
money to pay for a
The floor
postcard.
opened up and I lost
Nothing.
everything. But that's gambling. You win some, you lose some,
Yeah,
right?
you
It's
lose
just one
some.
of those times.
I had to pay for the
know what?
taxi cab
Had
home.
she came in
I had
and
to pay
got
for the
me,
taxi cab home.
I would have been up.
Everything.
We both would have been
Everything on
up.
the
We
cruise
both
ship
would have
and
enjoyed my
after.
earnings.
It's like, what's that?
Victor. I'm just trying to understand this story correctly, as twisted as it may be. You said you ended up in the cabin with a sunburn, which tells me you must have been on the beach for a long time. So somewhere you went from having all this money to losing all your money. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
So you had nothing, basically.
I had
Nothing.
nothing.
So for the
Nothing.
remaining 2 days of the cruise, I take it.
I had to pay for everything. I paid for my snorkeling. I paid for the
You wouldn't talk to
sightseeing. I paid for everything. And the cab ride home.
I told
He
her to
couldn't
pay her
even
back
tip
whatever
the cab
whatever expense she
driver.
put out. I would
Victor,
pay you back.
my question to you: the promise that you made to Zara. Do you have any respect for that promise at all?
Of course I do.
Oh,
Okay, so
obviously
tell me.
not.
We were
tell
on
me how you
vacation.
feel-
I just thought it as a good time, you know?
So
it
was
wasn't
it-
something that I was going to come back home and do again, you
But
know?
you said you wanted to get back together with me, not the dice.
Let me make
Not
sure.
the cards.
Victor, let me make sure I understand you correctly. Okay, was your promise conditional in that it only applied to certain areas? That's a question.
No.
Okay, so therefore, I think promises are supposed to be unconditional, aren't they?
Well-
Tell me, please, how do you feel about the fact that you broke the promise?
You're making too much out of this.
Really?
You are so hypocritical.
What do you make out of
Hypocritical?
it?
You are so
It
hypocritical.
was just a momentary lapse, right? You know, I was down on my luck. Had I won, we'd both been enjoying the earnings.
But you know the thing that puzzles me, Victor, is that you don't seem to have any remorse for the fact that you made a promise and broke it. So please help me understand how you feel justified in the fact that the vacation was ruined, you didn't keep your promise, and you lost all your money.
The vacation was ruined because she was being
Oh.
very stubborn.
You know, you say
Very,
that you
very
love
stubborn.
me.
I would
Is
say
that how you
the
show
fact
love?
that you lost $2,000
That's how you
is
show
a big
love?
Yeah, but
factor.
that's you win, you lose, right?
You
the
lost
next
big
day I
time.
could win
Zara,
like that, right?
Zara, do you see what you have? This is your situation. This is your life. You make the decision. You're trying to change him based on a promise. Gambling was a problem.
He promised me this, and what? I take him at his word.
Well,
Not
you know
anymore.
what? And you know what?
Let me tell you, I haven't
let me
spoken
ask-
to him since that time.
Big deal. You're here now. So here's my question.
Only because I want to humiliate him.
Oh, well, you know,
you
but
want to
who's
humiliate
humiliating?
me?
Come on now, Zara. You're not here for that reason.
Well, that's what he did to me.
Zara,
I did not.
Let me tell you, I'm smart enough to know that you can sit here all day long and act like it's just for his humiliation. It's not. You'll leave here and you'll be right in the bed with him tonight.
Oh, no,
here's
I don't think so. No,
Here
no,
is
no,
my
no.
question to you.
No.
Is that the first time he made that promise to you that he wasn't going to gamble?
No.
Okay. So why did you think he was going to keep it this time?
Because I hadn't heard from him in 2 months. And out of the blue, he calls me up. He says that he misses me. He said that he has
I think
gotten
he'd just
things
be
in order.
narrow-minded.
He knows
He'd
his
be
priorities.
narrow-minded.
I am his priority. Gambling is out of his life.
Now, do you believe him?
No.
Okay. Well, you know what? Think about it. I'm going to go to my resolution, and as I'm doing my resolution, I want you to think about the fact that over and over again, you got the same result. Okay? I'll be back with my resolution. You know, this is not as simple as rolling the dice. You know, Zara, you like the humiliation. You said you brought him here to humiliate him. You like the humiliation. You like the breakup and makeup game. You enjoy it. And actually, if you think about it, you're as much a part of the problem as his gambling is, because you're assisting him and asking him for something he's not able to give you, which is the fact that he won't gamble again. You know, you knew his word was not his bond because you admitted you had asked him before to stop gambling, and he didn't do it. So you knew that. Changing the geographical scene does not change the problem. You know, Victor, gambling is an addiction for some people. Only you know whether it is for you or not. But I will tell you, part of addiction is denial. And when anything negatively affects your relationship, then it is a problem. And even by your own admission, this is negatively affecting your relationship. You know, you believe you win some and you lose some. The truth of the matter is you win some and you lose most. And what hurts most is when you lose relationships with people that love you and that you love. You know, when your partner's behavior is destructive to the relationship, what you have to be careful of is make sure that their self-destruction does not destroy you also. And when I look at this situation, what I can say to you all is that I believe that there's a need here for some professional counseling for both of you, not one, both. And I will tell you that if you both get together, because you do love each other, and work together to have someone help you work through the problem, you'll see if the relationship is worth saving. And if it is, that's great. But even if it isn't, you'll know that you've done everything to stack the odds in your favor. And that's that, the final word.
Next on Singles Court. Since Zach proposed to Deidre, things have been rocky.
He spent about $10,000 on the spring, and neither of us can afford it.
He says, accepted. My love is like a rock.
Exactly.
The issue
I
here
wear
is
my
that-
heart on my sleeve, and she basically rips it off and then stomps on it.
Welcome back to Singles Court. I'm David Knight. We're back with two more singles who have a serious relationship problem. And they've tried to solve it themselves, but unable to do that, they've come here to meet the woman with the final word. She's relationship expert, Angela Siegel.
The final word.
The final word.
You used to say that about me when I was in arguments as well.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know
sure
what,
they did.
I don't think it's a compliment, though.
It's a compliment. It's case closed kind of thing, you know?
No arguments here, though, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Okay, Angela, meet Deidre and Zach. Deidre is a part-time daycare worker, and Zach drives a delivery van. They've been an item for almost 2 years, and recently Zach proposed marriage. The problem is, Zach presented her with a very expensive engagement ring that he couldn't afford. So Deidre wants him to take it back, but Zach says you can't put a price on love. I call this the case of the love that rings true.
Deidre, now you know there are women watching this going, what? So I'm going to say it for them. What?
Well, the situation is this, that we've been together for a really long time. We've been dating for a couple of years. Known each other since high school.
That's an eternity.
It's a long time.
No, we've known each other since high school, but we've been dating 2 years.
We live together.
Yes,
Don't
we
forget
live together. And a couple of weeks ago, we went out for dinner at Arby's, and a place that we go once a week. And he popped the question, which I am thrilled about. I really...
These are all good things.
I know, I do really want to marry you.
Now, wait a second. First of all, let me clarify something. She makes it seem like, okay, we come from modest means, but she's making it seem like I'm cheap because we went to Arby's. Thing is, we always go to Arby's, and that's why I surprised her there, because if I'd taken her out to a fancy restaurant, she would have seen it coming, and I was just trying to surprise her. So.
I'm feeling you. Don't get upset. There's nothing wrong with Arby's.
Okay.
The bottom line is that we can't afford it, he can't afford it, and I have no
What,
idea.
can't afford what? Arby's?
No, the ring.
Oh, the ring. Okay. Go ahead.
Yes.
So?
He spent about $10,000 on the spring, and neither of us can afford it.
Wait a second. This is a symbol. This is a token of
Is that
my
true?
love.
You spent $10,000?
11,485 or something like that, to be exact. But
Who's counting?
Exactly, down to the very penny.
Well, I admit it's a lot of money, but this is forever. We're talking about, you know, declaring our mutual love in front of a minister, declaring our vows till death do us part. Isn't this what every woman wants? Is a nice wedding ring?
I don't know.
This,
but it's what she wants that matters.
Well, this is what I thought she wanted.
This
But
ring
do you understand what he's saying? I mean, he's like pouring out his heart to you and
no,
saying...
I do understand, but the issue
I
here
wear
is
my
that
heart on my sleeve, and she basically rips it off and then stomps on it.
the issue is that we are going to be carrying this debt.
That was so graphic.
Well,
scary.
yes.
This is not ER. Go ahead. So
we're going to be carrying this debt for years because neither
okay,
of us.
so he financed it.
Yes.
Well, I don't know how he managed to.
Did you finance
to pay
it?
Can you
for it.
believe? No, listen to this. She
So you
thinks.
don't even know when you're mad already. For all you know, he might have paid cash for it.
Well,
Well,
no, I know that, but he doesn't have the means to pay
She
for it.
accuses me
This
of
is
like.
clearly way out of our league.
Okay,
It's like
so
she
neither
doesn't
of us
know
can
how
afford it.
how
He's
does she
financed
think I
it, and
got the money?
I
Of
just-
course I find it. She accused me
feel
of like
like
holding up the liquor store or something
okay,
like
so
that.
wait a minute. So you financed it?
Yes.
From the jewelry store?
No.
From where?
From a bank loan.
Okay, so you got a bank loan
Yeah.
at a percentage interest that I would guess is probably at least double digit.
Well, no, it's actually fairly reasonable. It's like prime +2.
Okay, so you're going to be making a payment for how long?
Well, the payments are going to
Years.
last something like
It's
eight.
gonna be years.
Well, it's about 8.5. Actually, in months,
Every
which works
month,
out to be about 8.5
we're gonna be
years or
paying-
something.
You know, it's recommended that you spend 3 months worth of your paychecks.
I know that's. You know, I read that somewhere. That's regular, guys.
The bottom
okay.
line is your decision to buy this. It has nothing to do with the foundation of love that we have set up and the values that we both represent. It is clearly something that I don't care to have, for one thing, because it's not me.
I can't believe
and
I'm
you
hearing
have
this.
spent so
I cannot
much money
believe I'm hearing
on
this.
that we
This
simply
is what
can't
every
afford
woman
it.
wants.
Wait a minute. First talk, forget the every woman stuff. That's out the window because you're not marrying every woman. You're marrying one woman, that one. But
Exactly.
now let's get to the point of, when you all are going to set house up together. You're going to set up house.
Well, we
So-
already have. We've been living together
okay.
for 2 years.
But we want to buy
which
a
is-
house, we
wait
want
a
to have
minute.
children.
Which is all the more reason why, if you make a huge purchase, $11,000, and you strap the household, don't you think that needs to be a joint decision?
Well, this is a symbol of my love for her, and she's
Particularly
equating to like a
because we want to
phone
have
bill or a
children.
used car or
No,
something.
worse,
like
because
this is
a phone,
forever.
No, a phone bill, you can turn the phone off and stop paying it. A used car, eventually you own it, usually in about 3 years. You're talking about 8.5 years of payments.
Yeah, but this isn't a used car. This is our marriage. This is our life.
No,
this
that's
is
not
my
your marriage.
love for
That's
her.
a ring. That's a ring.
Well, it's a symbol of something greater.
But
It's
it's
a symbol of the.
something that neither of us stand for, and I cannot marry him unless he is willing to take it back. It's just too much
great.
money.
But here's
It's not what
my
we're-
question. Because she has a concern about the fact that you went out and spent $11,000 for a ring. Okay, even though you say it's a symbol. Help me understand how the thought process behind how you're going to make other purchases during the marriage. Because, see, you would scare me to death.
Well, I'm willing to work
Exactly.
24 hours a day to show
You're
her
gonna
just
need
how-
to.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
And I
I'm
don't want to
willing
be married
do
to
that.
someone who's working 24 hours a day to pay off a ring.
Well, I'm willing
I
to.
mean, it's
what I'm saying is, I'm
ridiculous.
willing to sacrifice for our relationship.
She doesn't want the sacrifice. She doesn't want you. She wants you.
Sacrifice with your heart and
I
your
mean, she
soul,
does
like
not
you
want the
have.
ring.
Well, soul, this is exactly, I'm showing you
No,
my
your
soul
soul
here.
is not in
She's
that
making
box.
it seem like this is some kind of like, little materialistic kind of a thing.
It's like it's from the 1950s or something like that.
please.
This is not what we're about.
Let me see the ring.
It's a beautiful ring.
It's beautiful, don't get me wrong.
That's a huge ring.
And I want
There's
to
a
marry
huge
Zach.
amount
There's
of
no
love
doubt
and
about
emotion
that.
going into this purchase. As I said, it's a symbol. And
I
she's
feel
bringing
you.
this-
I do. I really do. I really do. I feel you on the emotional side. I think it's just wonderful. However, when reality sets in and hits me in the head, I have to say to you, 8.5 years of making a payment, you're not going to be able to get a house. You're not going to be able to provide for your children.
What children? Children just need love. I mean, what happened to love?
You're
No,
not going to be
they need a
around.
roof
You're going to be
too.
working. You understand?
They need a roof too. Can you meet her halfway?
Well, she makes it seem like
Question.
because we're modest now
Can you
that
meet
we're
her-
all.
Can you meet her halfway? Can you
Well,
meet
it's
her
like,
halfway?
you know what? I think I could, except for what she said. She's saying, "Where'd you get the money? Like you robbed a bank
well,
or
get
held
over
up a
it.
store." Now I don't even know who
where
she
your
is.
intentions are coming from. I know,
Can
Zach,
you
that
meet
your
her
intentions
halfway?
are
Was
pure.
the question? Can you meet her halfway?
I don't understand why she doesn't want the
That's
ring.
not the question. I'll be back with my resolution.
I don't understand why you don't want the ring. It's a beautiful ring. Sure.
A gift is from the heart. Zach loves you with all his heart. You know that. I mean, the ring, and as far as he sees it, could have even been bigger. I don't think it could have been big enough for him. I mean, it's obvious that he really, really loves you. You know, sometimes we have to set aside our own practical thoughts in order to let those that love us give us things that they want to give us. It's hard to do, but sometimes we have to do that. And in this case, I think compromise is better than your ultimatum that you're giving right now, which is either or. You know, your purchase, Zach, was sweet, but extravagant. If you have to finance something for 8.5 years, then you're not living within your means. And living within your means is very important if you're to be the husband that you want to be, the family man that you want to be, and the provider that you want to be. Major financial decisions that affect the relationship should never be a surprise to either partner. Both people should know about them. This was a major financial decision. And when you committed your lives for 8.5 years, that's where it involved Deidre. What I would suggest you do is take the ring back and purchase something together that you both can live with. And make sure it's within your means. And then every 3 years, you can make a new tradition and purchase a new ring with cash. So that way, you're not paying finance charges, you're not paying interest. And see, that way, the only interest that you'll be paying will be the interest that you have in your new wife, and in your new life, and on your new house, and on your new mortgage. Those are all good things. Now, take that to the bank. That's that, the final word.
Well, what's a guy to do? He can't play blackjack with his money. He can't even buy his girl a nice expensive ring. I still think it's a man's world, but women definitely make all the rules. We'll see you next time on Singles Court, the final word for singles.